So, Mr. DiSogra, this demonstrates the danger or the difficulty.
Hold on. Start the
It's
question
cross-examination.
differently. Start. Go ahead, Mr. Bean.
This demonstrates the difficulty in giving opinions when you don't actually study the data itself. Isn't that fair to say?
What are you referring to with this?
Well, you're giving opinions, but you can't verify any of the data because you're not relying on your study of the data, are you?
I'm relying on expert reports.
You're criticizing somebody's report, but you yourself can't defend data that you haven't actually analyzed and broken down yourself.
I don't think that's true.
When you're looking at, when you're looking at someone's report, you're guessing as to what they thought or presumed if you haven't spoken to them. Fair?
I would say I'm reading the words that are in front of me and interpreting them for what they say.
When someone plugs their iPhone into a car after it turns on, and the car reads data that's on the iPhone, that data then resides on the entertainment system, correct?
There's a transfer of data. Yes.
And so unless you actually do the study yourself, you had no way of knowing if that information, although on the iPhone, on the entertainment system, you had no idea whether it was on an iPhone or on the entertainment. Fair?
That's right. I don't think that's...
And so when you don't actually do the work yourself, and you just presume or you guess, you could get it wrong.
If I had guessed, yes, but I didn't guess. I used the data in the reports and I referenced the testing that Aperture did. So I did not make a guess.
1 through 5, and you're telling me right now, to a reasonable degree, data certainty, that that information is based on the infotainment clock. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
You don't know. But if you actually did the analysis yourself, rather than just Monday morning quarterbacking somebody's report,
So I'm going to strike it, ask it differently, Mr.
if you
Bean.
actually did the analysis yourself, you wouldn't have to make a presumption that you'd be wrong, correct?
I don't think the analysis was possible in this case because the testing wasn't done in this case.
You don't know if the testing was done or not. You didn't do the testing.
So I need to hear the question.
You don't know if the testing was done or not, do you?
I know it's in the reports. The testing wasn't in the reports.
Did you read Jessica Hyde's report?
No.
Did you read Ian Wilson's report?
No.
You don't know if that testing was done, do you?
I don't.
I'm going to let that stand. Next.
I do not, sir.
And so if you're wrong, your assumptions imply of that wrong.
Part of my conclusions would change. I wouldn't agree that I'm wholesale wrong.
Well, as a scientist, if they're not accurate, that would be wrong, wouldn't it?
That might be a nuanced answer.
I'm sorry?
I said that might be a nuanced answer. Frankly, I'm not sure how to give you a good answer to that
If you
question.
have the wrong data when you're doing your analysis, then the final analysis is going to be wrong if you have using the wrong data. It's that simple.
Yes.
Right? You have to be a scientist to figure that out.
Yes. That's,
Okay. If we could have Mr. Welcher's 33. If you could open that, please. You were asked about whether the window is within the time frame of 12/32/09, the last user interaction with the phone. When you look at this data, you go to the top, please. You see on vehicle speed, the car is moving. You see that? Could you enlarge that a little bit, please? The beginning of that data capture, the car's already moving, correct?
I see vehicle speeds. Right, in those first couple of lines, yes.
Yes?
Yes, I see vehicle speed.
If you go to the bottom, at the end, the car is still moving, yes?
I see vehicle speeds there as well.
2361. That would indicate, in your experience with text stream data, the car is still moving, yes?
At the end of the record, there is a vehicle speed, the car is moving. That would be my assumption.
Okay. And so, when you're making your conclusions that something's with or without, you're simply talking about the time of the 10 seconds of data, yes?
Yeah, everything that I've done has been referencing the end of event 1162-2, which is exactly how it's been referenced in all of the other reports.
That 10-second window, yes?
Not even the window, just the end. Everything in the Aperture reports talks about the end of event 1162-2. So that's what I used across everything.
And when you say end of event, you're referring just to data, not the actual real life event.
Yeah, absolutely. The end of the recording.
Okay. And so after that window, 12:32:04 to 12:32:12, you were asked a question about what might have happened 4 seconds later, 12:32:16. Remember you were asked about that?
Yes.
Did you know at 12:32:16 that John O'Keefe's cell phone moved for the last time? Did you know that?
No.
And between 12:32:12, which is in the 10-second window, and 12:32:16, do you know what John O'Keefe was doing in that 4-second period?
No.
Do you know if he was walking?
No.
Do you know if he was crawling?
No.
Do you know if he was falling?
No.
You don't know.
I do not know.